Good everyone, Froggy Picker here. Today's video is going to be my entry for two contests that are kind of closely related in my case. The first one will be for Kraken, the June contest, where I have to explain the origin of my username. And this is actually pretty simple. As you may have heard from my accent, I am coming from France. I've been living in the US for about a bit more than 10 years now, but this accent is not going anywhere. So really, when I started speaking back in October, I was kind of searching for username and just picked the Froggy Picker. So that's the story. But what I wanted to say is that there is a connection with so my second entry, which would be Thumper lockpicking, that has a great giveaway. You should go and check his video. And he was asking us to present our nicest lock, or kind of the special locks that we have in our collection. And these two are kind of related to, they're from a French manufacturer called Fichet, for the people that have maybe have already recognized this very specific lock. And Fichet is known for their sort of unusual, crazy design. And I have two examples here. So on the left, it's the Fichet 450, and on the right is the Fichet 787. I will start with the 787 because this one I really got a very good deal out of it, because one of the cylinder was not operating well, so I thought it was broken, but actually by moving things around, I managed to make it work, and actually both cylinders are working. So this one is a very interesting 10 lever mechanism, and the main difference, so this is the outside cylinder. It has very deep anti-picking mechanism at the front that are kind of, these are like two metal lips that are hugging the key in this groove that makes picking nearly impossible. I think, to my knowledge, there is no public picking of the external cylinder. I have seen a public picking of the internal cylinder, and it might have been on the other, like the newer version of this 787Z. So this one has 10 levers, the newer version has 8 levers. But a slightly different key shape. So just to show how crazy it is inside. So yeah, the way it operates, you have to actually push to get up. It is actually, yeah, you have to push to get it to engage, and you can see the thing is rotating. And the mechanism inside is actually very interesting. Let me try to not lose anything. So there are 4 springs that I don't want to lose here. But what you see here is that you have these gear here that are moving out of alignment, and so when you are inserting the key, you are actually pushing all these gear into alignment here, and then once they're all aligned, the gate is, you can push the key in and then turn that back plate. So here you can see the gate here that has to engage into this groove. So this is really unusual mechanism that can be rekeyed actually, because the way these gates are, you can see that when I get the key out, the gates are not always at the same location, and the way they are encoded is like it's at assembly. So the assembly will, you're able to rotate a little bit more some of these gear and get a different coding. So theoretically, this is rekeyable. So that's So the 787, I think, is not even in the LPU belt. So it must be like black plus, 7 Dan or whatever, Anyway, so this is a really, really nice lock. However, I received today another lock that is more significant for me, and I'm really interested to know what's inside exactly. So let me just push this thing away. And it is this guy. So this is actually a Fichet 450, and so it's kind of significant for me because this is what my late grandfather had on his apartment in France. And so I'm really happy to have found one of these locks. However, it came in this form factor that is very not usual for Fichet. The notice that it came with is mentioning a multi-lock top guard, but I'm pretty sure that this is the Fichet version of this top guard, because like the shape of this back steel plate is different from the one that we have here. So it must be just compatible, like footprint compatible. You have like the same 4 bolts, but this is a multi-lock version, and this version here is a Fichet version. So the reason why I'm very curious about what's inside is that this lock can be either purple to black, depending on whether or not there is force gate, master gates or levers that are mastered. And so I actually do not know what's inside yet. So let me open it and see if we can figure out what we have here. So I will put these outside, and I hope that the plate, the plate is coming out. So let me remove these bolts. And let's see what it is. Oh, so this is actually very similar to internal cylinder, but it's reversed because the key is from the other side. So that's interesting. So let me see. I don't want anything to be falling. Okay. So that's good. Here we have, is this thing actually rotating? Oh no, it's just a footprint for the key. So the key is rotating behind. Okay, so this is completely fixed. Okay, it's interesting. Okay, so let's get this thing out. And now let's have a look at the cylinder itself. So, yep. Perfect, okay. So now, if we are, so I think that the only thing that we really have to be careful is to grab, so this is a 10 lever and 2 sidebar. So these are, I have to just make sure that the sidebar don't pop on me. Good. There is, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so there is, I think this is a pin here. And then there is the tail piece is actually going either this way or this way. Okay. So in the cylinders there is nothing specific except you have 2 grooves for the sidebar on each side, and of course, like any sidebar mechanism, the sidebar have to retract inside the cylinder to allow for the rotation. And now the surprise, ooh, I see a lot of indentation here. So, okay, let me remove that back piece and let me get, there's a little bit of grime in this thing, but not too much actually. So the sidebar are, they're just like straight piece of metal here. Okay. So that's one sidebar. And then here, the second sidebar on the other side. Okay, good. So now I may not attempt a full disassembly, but you can see here you have two bar and a lot of grime. Two axes here that can probably be pushed out to disassemble the levers. And now let's have a look at the gates here and whether or not we have. So of course when we insert the key, all the levers are aligning, all the gates are aligning, and then this sidebar can retract completely inside the cylinder. Okay. I really need to clean this thing. It's like full of grime. Now, let me check. So I think this is, there is a single okay, so this is probably, let me check on the other side. Yep. Okay, so this is a black belt lock because every single of these levers has a single true gate and two other false gates. So let's see if we can get a zoom here to see a bit more. So you can see here that we have one true gate and then a false gate here at the top and a false gate at the bottom. In this guy we have a true gate at the top and then 1 and 2 false gate at the bottom. This guy is same thing, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, etc. This one is, oh, 1 at the bottom and 2 at the top. So yeah, that's, and let's see again the action in detail. That is quite a feast to see. Let's see on the other side. Yeah. So here, I think you can see there is like one true gate and then there is one small indentation and two small indentations. So 2 false gate and 1 true gate. And there doesn't seem to be any master levers. Great. Well, I guess I got my hand on a black belt. Very impressive. Grimy, but impressive. Anyway, oh yeah, and just for thumper lockpicking, I'm thinking there is 148 nickels in that box. I don't know, I could be off by 50 or 100. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Remember the rule: only try this at home and leave any fellow logs to professional. Thank you. Bye.